Hi everybody, it is Waste Not Wednesday and I am working on a collage in my concertina journal. This is the last episode in the series of Waste Not Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed it. I may bring it back now and then to finish up the journal. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this particular episode. I went on a road trip 3 years ago, all across country, and I stayed in an inn in Santa Fe, and I had stayed in it before, and I really loved it. And over the mantle in the rooms, they have these wooden crosses, very simple, somewhat abstract. They're made of wood and twine, and I just fell in love with them. And I'm going to use those today for the inspiration for our collage page. Now, Easter's coming up this weekend. And depending upon how you celebrate and what you celebrate, you may have different meanings for this particular collage. But for me, the cross has another name called a cruciform. And it means a cross shape, just like a square or a rectangle or a circle. And so you can approach this in any way that you want to. If you look at the crosses in this particular picture, some of them have the cross piece in the center. Some of them have it way up at the top. This is center. These are bowed. This one's kind of gnarly. This one is straight, as is this one pretty much. And you can just spend some time looking at this and decide how you're going to abstract the cross form or the cruciform. So there are lots of ways you can abstract an image. We've talked about it before that, let's see here, if you have a cross, you can explode that cross. You can bend the different pieces of the cross. You can make it a wavy line, which I have seen this as a symbol, and I think it's really pretty. It looks like someone dancing. You can put your crossbar at different places. This one's kind of far apart. This one's closer together. So there are many, many, many different ways that you can abstract your cross. You can lay it sideways in the paper. But this is basically what we're going to be doing. Taking a form and abstracting it and doing a collage based on that form. You know, if you take a, let's see here. If you take a circle, I have some here that I had cut up. If you take a circle and cut it, and then rearrange it, if I can find all the pieces, what you've done is abstracted that circle. And because it's a circle, you know, you can make a great design out of it. Let's see here. I think I'm missing a piece. But you can make a great design out of that circle. And if you want to use a circle, you certainly can. But this is one way of abstracting a form. And you can weave stuff through this. You can overlap things on top of it. But your eyes and your mind still kind of interprets this as a circle. So that's kind of what it's like to abstract a shape. So what we're going to do, I've chosen a number of different pieces of paper, and this piece, remember this was from when I took tape and distressed tape, and this is a piece of that tape. I'm going to use this and this piece. I'm going to stick with neutrals and reds and browns and black, and I have some pieces of my own artwork that I may include in this. And then I have some pink and purple. I have red and pink and green. I thought I might use this word hope in the collage and this beautiful flower here. I have poppy stamps and Salvation Army inside of an envelope. So those are my colors that I'm going to be using. I also found a cigar band that has the red in it. I found the word pure, which I think might work in here as well. And I think the next thing we're going to do is get started on this collage. Now, I'm still doing grunge, and I'm not real sure how this is going to turn out, to tell you the truth. I'm feeling a little strange today, and I'm surprised because we had the Johnson & Johnson vaccine yesterday, and when I got home, I had no energy whatsoever. Although the shot, aside from a little sting and burn, didn't hurt at all. But my reaction to it is that I am very, very tired. So I'm going to push forward here and see what happens. Okay, I want to grunge up this background, and so I'm going to start adding pieces of tea bag on here, and I'm going to use my Collage Distress Medium. It's matte. You can use white glue. You can use a number of different glues. You can use gel medium, because one thing I am going to do is let's see here, rag of some sort. One thing that I am going to do is paint on top of this. Now, if you're painting over top of a collage, the best thing to do is to do your collage first and then add the painting. And I have not yet decided if I'm going to do one cross or if I'm going to do 3 crosses. So I'm just going to play here and see what happens to my background. Now, I like the crinkles in the background, so that doesn't bother me at all. Okay, so you can see that the images that are far in the background now just look like shapes and textures. You wouldn't be able to tell really what kind of ad was back here. And this is almost dry, so I don't think I'm gonna put clear gesso on this. I think I'm just gonna try and work on this piece without using clear gesso. And I have to decide how I want to abstract my cross. And I think I'm going to do one cross, and I'm going to use this abstraction. So I'm just going to take my Stabilo and just draw where I want my cross to be. Okay, and you can do any of these or whatever form it is that you're working with. And then I'm going to start collaging using strips of paper, torn strips, not cut, torn. So I'm going to start with these poppies. I really like this background. It looks like the desert to me over in the Middle East. And I think it's really appropriate for this particular collage. You know, I find it very difficult to do a collage without telling a story of some kind. And so, and I'm sure I have something going on in inside my being that determines what colors I choose, what images I look for when I'm doing collage, and they seem to start calling to one another. And I've got this little piece of text that the type is so small that you really can't read it. And then if you put it on here upside down, you know, you really can't read it. Well, you could if you turned it right side up, I guess. So I'm not thinking too hard about where I'm putting these pieces. Not really. I'm the word. And I really like the fact that this salvation is in this collage. I think I found a larger one that I will probably use. So you see that the collage is beginning already to take shape. And I'm just trying to make sure that my colors are kind of balanced in here. You know, and a lot of this you may not even see when the collage is finished. Look at these textures here. Aren't they beautiful? Wow. Now, I do want to keep, you don't have to, but I do want to keep the part of the cross that is vertical shorter than the centerpiece of the cross. And one thing I found, if you're using this decoupage medium, if you let it dry overnight, most of the bubbles fall out of it. They just kind of settle. The paper just settles. And it's another reason that I really like this particular product. Now you can run your image off the edges of the paper, and you can trim that up later, which is what I'm going to do. Well, unfortunately, when I turned the camera off to go speak to the roofers, I turned it back on and it did not video. So, as you can see, I painted around the cross using acrylic paint. Let's see here, what else did I use? I used Dilutions sprays. I used Jane Davenport water brushes. I used, sorry, I'm holding the camera to make sure that it keeps going. And I used pieces of my own artwork and stamps. So the last thing I did was I spattered the white and the black, and then I went in with a Stabilo pencil, and I'm working on these areas that I love the texture on. So I'm sorry that that did not video, but I do want to get this up online this afternoon. So I hope you all have a great week and weekend. I hope that you enjoyed this video. This is the last video in the Waste Not series. I think next week I'll show you all of the collages we did made out of junk mail. And then we will move on to something else. I'll probably return to this journal and finish it at some point, and I'll show you the rest of the grungy pages that I do inside, and maybe we'll work on the cover together. So I hope you all are having a great evening or afternoon or morning, whichever the case may be when you see this. I am going to sign off now. So many blessings to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.